You know, when I saw the animation for this cartoon, I was a little worried at first. I was like, you know, it's looking a little Adventure Timey to me. It looks like they're going that weird route. But I have to say, after seeing the first 2 episodes, that this is a legitimately good show. It doesn't rest on the laurels of what came before it, and has instead decided to become its own thing. To a point where, with each character introduction, I'm excited to see what they're going to change next. Most of the time when you mess with people's childhoods, quote unquote, you get a lot of nerds and nostalgic fanboys going around being like, no, they changed it. It's not my childhood. But for once, I think we're all actually in a place where we can say that change is good and we probably need more of it. This is my review of DuckTales 2017. The show does a very good job of not trying to recreate the wheel. They are keeping very simple plot points in place and characterization. The one thing I can say that is improved beyond all else are the triplets, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Now, a concern I did have was that they were giving these children who originally had, you know, basically sped up Donald Duck voices, real human voices. And not even human voices, but like adolescent sounding voices. Like they have grown men playing these characters and they're just altering their voices a little bit. But for the most part, they don't sound like little kids here. And I'm actually happy about that because it makes you take them seriously as adventurers. It makes you take them seriously as characters. Not to say that little kids can't be characters that are exciting and adventurous, but there's just something about that, about being at that like adolescent age, that makes you go, you know, I could see that. I could see them being that rambunctious. I could see them being that rebellious. And it fits with the motif of the show. I am probably a rarity in Cartoonville or cartoon fandoms in that I actually enjoyed the Quack Pack. And when I heard they were going to do these voices, I was kind of excited that we're going to get, you know, a good mixture of the Quack Pack personalities along with the original personalities of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, which, to be honest, they even make a small joke at, because in the original show, they didn't really have their own things. They were all basically carbon copies of each other with small, slight nuances here and there. But then with Quack Pack, they developed their own kind of deal. But most people were like, Quack Pack, blah, blah, blah. I actually enjoyed that show because they gave Donald Duck the forefront and allowed him to be a core component of the series. In this one, we get that for at least the pilot, it seems, but again, it ends and wraps up with Donald going to do his job, basically becoming a occasional reoccurring character, but not a regular character like we all thought he would be from the initial artwork that showed us the entire idea of this reboot. What he done the launch pad, it works. You know, he's all there for laughs. He's not the same character we knew, but I'm okay with that because he's not even the most interesting person on this team, which for once actually is Scrooge McDuck. I am really excited for the adventures of this Scrooge McDuck. I want to see Gizmo show up with his new design. I want to see that Morgana, no, I keep doing this wrong. So Morgana, the duck, was the love interest of Darkwing Duck. And I keep continually calling this other duck lady Magica Day something the wrong character name, but because she looks like Morgana from the Addams Family, which I don't know if that's a mistake or what, but like to me it just makes more sense to call her Morgana and this girl something else, but I'll let it pass because it doesn't really matter. I think is I want to see more of what they do. The one change I can't say I'm in love with is kind of what they did with Webigail. Webigail just isn't her own person anymore. I know she's a duck, but just bear with me here. Like, she feels like every other girl in every other cartoon that I've already seen. I get it that the voice actress is very much so channeling other voice actresses in her attempt, and it's working really well for that, but it doesn't really work well for the character. And maybe I'm just wrong, maybe I just want her to be something different than what she is, but I am not in love with the choice they made here. I'm just not. I really want Webigail to remain innocent and be more of a pure character. I mean, I get it that she is, you know, seemingly aloof or seemingly, maybe I'll say the word is ignorant, but that's not the same thing as innocence. I think this show does need one character to play it straight and still be innocent and not be wild and crazy or pushing the boundaries. And I feel like they're just putting her in a role that doesn't fit her actual character. But then again, they may be going somewhere different with this. I won't know until we see more of the show. But for right now, Webigail stands to be my one holdout as far as being completely 110% in love with every change they made on this show. My only fear is that it's so good that it's probably going to get canceled, because that's what happens to good things. Good things normally get canceled, especially when it's on Disney channels. And I'm not saying that like the Disney Channel, but I mean like Spectacular Spider-Man, the Tron the Animated Series, and various other shows that get canceled in their literal prime, which sometimes is their first season. So I have a hard time wanting to be excited for this because I know I'm probably going to get my heart broken. But I have to say that go watch it while you can, because this DuckTales show is amazing. They even gave you a new version of the theme song, which doesn't do anything different except a few extra sound effects, and I'm happy for that because they knew they couldn't like beat perfection. There's no reason to try to outdo what came before it. Apply new things to the old things and apply old things to the new, and sometimes you get something that's better than what you started with. And I actually have a little bit of faith that this show might wind up being better than the original if the writing, voice acting, and characterization are any kind of indication. This adventure in Duckburg is going to be one to be rivaled for ages. That is my review. I did not want to spoil too much for you guys, but I did want you guys to know that this show has meat, it has teeth, even if the ducks don't. And I can't wait to see the Beagle Boys and Mama Beagle. They've already kind of shown her design. And I'm just pumped because this is a show that definitely was part of my childhood. And I have no qualms about them changing things. I mean, I remember when I first saw Scrooge and I was like, oh, he's not wearing blue. What up with that though? And then you find out that in the graphic novel, you know, and in almost every other iteration of Scrooge McDuck, he wore red and they changed it for the show. And so you're like, okay, cool, yeah. But that's not what I grew up with. But you learn to get over it, because the thing is, when something is done well, it's just done well. And so, like simple things like color swaps or making a character fat that used to be skinny, it shouldn't matter. What should matter is the content of the characters and the character of the show. But that's my review, everybody. Let me know what you think. If you want to see me do other reviews, let me know with a like on this video, and I'll be back with another nerd motivation and an anime debate sometime soon. Thanks a lot, everybody. This is Chris. Here's the videos that I just talked about. You might like one of these if you're going through something, or if you just want to laugh. Check it out, guys, and I'll see you later. Please subscribe.